Hey folks, it's Sam once again. Welcome back to another wrestling video. And I had about a year ago I had talked about Survivor Series 89, but I figured for this series of videos, which I'm only going to do one or two more, I figured why not talk about this for continuity's sake. Since I talked about SummerSlam and WrestleMania of 89, there's two more events in 89, and that way I'll take a break for a while because there's other stuff I need to get done. And then come back one day down the road. But Survivor Series 89. Now, this was the year that you had No Holds Barred, the movie, coming out. Well, it came out by this time. Pretty much flopped, but they wanted to tell you that it was a hit. And they had Tiny Lister Jr., who was Zeus. He also was in Friday. He was the president in The Fifth Element. He's in cahoots with Macho Man Randy Savage, which will lead to the next one, which I'll talk about. No Holds Barred, specifically called No Holds Barred, the movie / the match, where you watch the movie and then you watch a steel cage match, but that'll be next time. But this one, Survivor Series, this one, watching it. I mean, of the four, well, there's more than four. 2, 3, 4, 5. Of the five, there's two I didn't care for much at all. Well, maybe that's not true. One I liked, which was the last one. The first one was okay. I didn't mind it. Second one was, not really. The third one sucked. The fourth one's, And the fifth one I liked. So it was kind of so-so Survivor Series. Because, okay, the first one is the Dream Team, Dusty Rhodes, Brutus Beefcake, the Red Rooster, and Tito Santana versus the Enforcers, Big Boss Man, Bad News Brown, Rick Martel, and the Honky Tonk Man. Now, it's cool to see folks that are no longer with us, like Dusty Rhodes and Big Boss Man, people I like. And then I don't mind Brutus Beefcake. It was okay. I mean, you had Tito Santana, who had split with his tag team partner Rick Martel because Rick Martel left him. He became a bad guy. He's able to pin Tito Santana in a roll-up. Bad News Brown, I don't know why he's ever in any of these matches because he's useless, he's pointless, there's really nothing to him. He's not a good wrestler, he's not good at promos, he doesn't even have much of a look, and he never loses, and I swear this is like the second or third time I've seen him where he just leaves, and that's how he gets knocked out of the Survivor Series, because he just left. He argued with Big Boss Man and walked out on his team, so he was counted out, and there you go. It's just lame. I don't care for that. It's useless. Horseshit. Honky Tonk Man, who was a big guy at one point as a villain because he was the Intercontinental Champion for the longest time. But after, I guess, Ultimate Warrior fucked him up, he just went down and down and down. You know, I never cared for the Honky Tonk Man, so it doesn't bother me. Even as a villain, I'm like, I think Big Boss Man, who's in this, I like him more as a villain. And I like him as a good guy as well. So, and Honky Tonk Man, he's the next guy. He gets pinned because Brutus Beefcake gives him a high knee, and he gets pinned. 1, 2, 3. I'm like, this guy was the longest Intercontinental Champion, and now he's he gets pinned in the middle of a Survivor Series match. He doesn't even last till the ending, and it's a clean win. 1, 2, 3. And then Rick Martel gets a roll up for Brutus Beefcake. So Brutus Beefcake, you know, he's getting pretty decently popular and able to knock out two people, Honky Tonk Man and Rick Martel. And then one of the good guys, the Red Rooster, gets a Boss Man slam from the Big Boss Man. And first off, the Red Rooster sucks. His gimmick sucks. I think that he must have really pissed someone off. Where he took a piss in Vince McMahon's cup, and Vince found out about it. Oh, I'm going to get him back, yeah. and gave him the stupid gimmick of the rooster, and he was a jobber. And I'm like, didn't the Big Boss Man already kick this guy's ass? So can't you have like someone else in there for Boss Man to beat up and kick his ass? Like there's no other jobbers or nobody else other than him. He's already beat up Coco Beware. He's already beat up this. Let it be a new guy. I swear, it was just recently that I said that Boss Man beats the Red Rooster. I swear, I was like, did I just already see this before? Or am I wrong? I'm just, for some reason, having a case of deja vu. I don't know. But, and then the Boss Man loses because Dusty Rhodes gives a flying crossbody. And that's the thing. Dusty Rhodes, I like seeing him in this. The crowd really enjoyed him. Dusty Rhodes, may rest in peace. The sweet taste of Mellow Yellow. He did Mellow Yellow commercials, so man after my own heart. Him and Jim Varney, aka Ernest P. Worrell, so hey, do commercials from Mellow Yellow, again, you're man after my heart. But, you know, charismatic guy, and I know I had a year talked about this Survivor Series, but I completely forgot that Dusty Rhodes, he did, first off, a drop kick. I'm like, I didn't even know he could do a drop kick. And a flying crossbody. I'm like, I didn't know he could do that. I thought he just did punches, but he did a drop kick and a flying crossbody in this match. So, Dusty Rhodes I liked. Brutus PK did a good job. It's nice to see Big Boss Man in there. So, overall, I didn't mind it. That was a decent opening match. I didn't mind it. Then the second one was the 4x4s, Hercules, Ronnie Garvin, Bret Hart, and the Hacksaw Jim Duggan versus Earthquake, who I think at this time was Canadian Earthquake. He had like a Canada flag on his stomach. Dino Bravo, Macho Man Randy Savage, and Grade the Hammer Valentine. And this I didn't really care for too much because I didn't really care for it too much. First off, Randy Savage, Earthquake, and Dino Bravo win. So you had 3 bad guys win. So it just didn't seem like a match. And Bret Hart was, I thought, not used as well as he could have. First off, why is he even on the team? I mean, I saw Jim Dunn is going, USA, USA, and I'm thinking, Bret Hart's Canadian. Why the hell is he on this team? Well, because other than being a good guy, I'm like, what else other than that? I mean, the most interesting part is when you had a little bit of Bret Hart versus Macho Man. I'm like, just have a match of Bret Hart versus Macho Man. Just have a singles match between those two guys. That would have been much better than this. Hercules didn't do much. Lost to Earthquake, who gave him a splash. And it was nice to see Earthquake in this. I mean, of course, they want to have these people dominate because Randy Savage is going to be in a match with Hulk Hogan in the steel cage the next pay-per-view. And Earthquake, he's being geared up to possibly face Hogan, which I remember that. I think that's the next year, 1990. I always remember that when Earthquake did the splash and Hogan was hurt, and yeah, that little video that they had with that soft music. I always remember that from one of the video cassettes, so that's why Earthquake's being geared up for. And, you know, taking the Canadian Earthquake. I also remember the time where he would face Jake the Snake Roberts, and he had Damien the Snake in a bag, and Earthquake squashes Damien. It wasn't really Damien. It was, of course, they put someone in there, but the storyline was supposed to be Damien, and oh my god, the Snake is dead, and then Jake got the Snake's big brother. I forgot what the hell it was called. Lucifer, I think it was called. And, but I'd rather talk about that than this match. Gray Valentine got beat by Jim Duggan with a charging clothesline. Ronnie Garvin lost to Dino Bravo just from a side slam. It seemed really weak. Bret Hart again was underused, and Macho Man beat him with a flying elbow drop. It just, how just Bret Hart versus Randy Savage 1-on-1? And then Jim Duggan lost from a count-out after outside interference from Queen Sherry. So, Yeah, Bret Hart was underused. 3 of the bad guys won. Were the survivors. It just wasn't much of a match. The next one, the Hulkamaniacs, I think was probably the worst match, honestly. I really do think Hulk Hogan's one was the worst one. You had the Hulkamaniacs, Hulk Hogan, Jake the Snake, and Demolition Axe and Smash versus Zeus, Million Dollar Man, and the Powers of Pain, Warlord, and Barbarian. The reason I think this is the worst is 3 of your bad guys, 3 out of 4 bad guys lost from DQ. Disqualification. That's how they lost. 3 out of 4 bad guys. 3 out of 4. 3 out of 4 bad guys lost because of that. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. 3 out of 4 bad guys. I'm like, why? It's like, okay, like Zeus, Tiny Lister Jr., again, he couldn't do anything. He wasn't a wrestler. He was an actor. So it's like, okay, just don't sell. And no matter what they do, it doesn't hurt you. You choke Hogan, and then you shove the ref, and then you're disqualified. And you're the first to go. Again, fun look on Tiny Lister Jr.'s Zeus, but he can't do anything. It just, he has a good look, but I don't care. Axe got beat by the Warlord. Smash got beat the Barbarian. So it was Jake the Snake and Hulk Hogan versus the Powers of Pain and Million Dollar Man. And Jake the Snake, who I like, Jake the Snake Roberts, he was not used well at all. He didn't get to eliminate anybody. He got beat by the Million Dollar Man. And the next thing that happens is the Powers of Pain both did a DQ because of a fucking, oh, they're double teaming on Hogan, DQ. And I'm like, what? A double DQ because of that? And it's just like, why don't you let Jake the Snake do a DDT on one of them and beat him? And maybe the other could be a leg drop from Hogan and a DDT, or a DDT and a leg drop from Hogan. Like, why can't it be Hogan and Jake the Snake be the winners? It just, I like Jake the Snake. He didn't even get to eliminate one person, and just the fact that 2 guys, well, even they didn't even let Hogan eliminate the Powers of Pain. It just Zeus's DQ, and then you 2 are DQ because you're double teaming. I'm like, there's a lot of matches where there's a lot more double teaming that would not have been a DQ. But it's just lame. It's like they had to protect the Powers of Pain for some reason, but Demolition couldn't get protected. Like, you can't even have, like, Axe, one Demolition take out one Powers of Pain, and then maybe one Powers of Pain take out one of Demolition, or it's just weird. Both of the Powers of Pain get protected and DQ'd, while both of Demolition gets taken out pretty easily. And you give Jake the Snake Roberts nothing to do, and no one to beat. And then Million Dollar Man does a fist drop, beats Jake Roberts, and then Hogan beats Million Dollar Man, gives him a leg drop, and wins. 1, 2, 3. I think that was how he finished the Million Dollar Man. I don't know if he took on the Million Dollar Man anymore after that. So it just felt really lame. The next one wasn't much better. I mean, you had the Rougeau brothers, Mr. Perfect and Ravishing Rick Rude versus the Bushwhackers, Jimmy Snuka, and Roddy Piper. And this one, I would say I liked it a little bit better because, you know, I miss Roddy Piper. It was nice to see him in there. And a Survivor Series. And that was cool to see. That was cool to see. You know, Jimmy Snuka, whatever his personal stuff is, in the ring, he did a good Superfly splash and beat one of the Rougeaus. And Roddy Piper does a pile driver and beats the other Rougeau. And the Bushwhackers sucked, so that's fine. You know, Mr. Perfect and Rick Rude beat them. I'm like, that made sense. Like, this made more sense the way it was going here. Just have Jimmy Snuka, Roddy Piper versus Mr. Perfect and Rick Rude. And I liked Roddy Piper in the match, and I liked Mr. Perfect. I liked Rick Rude. So I liked this a little bit more than the last match. So I mean, at the end I thought it was okay, but then of course Roddy doesn't want to lose, and Rick Rude, they probably didn't want him to lose because he'll have to probably face some other guys later, and don't want to diminish him too much. So they both have a double count out, brawling on the outside. And then Jimmy Snuka, he's pretty much a glorified jobber, really. He pretty much came back. This was the time Jimmy Snuka was coming back just to lose matches. This was another one. Okay, Perfect does a perfect plex, and Superfly loses. And Mr. Perfect is the final survivor. I guess they were gearing him up for something as well, because I think he would be the Intercontinental Champion soon. And I believe so. Can't remember now. I believe so. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. For some reason I could have sworn he was. Can't remember now. No, it probably wouldn't be a while, because Ultimate Warrior was Intercontinental Champion. He'd hold that till WrestleMania 6. And maybe it's after that Mr. Perfect team entered. I don't know, who was the Intercontinental Champion after Warrior? I don't know, I'm sure someone who knows more about wrestling will know that. But, I mean, it was okay. I mean, Mr. Perfect, I liked him as a bad guy. It made sense. And it was an okay match for what it was. It just, I don't care for the Bushwhackers. The Rougeau brothers were a very boring team. And the double count out, I hate that kind of stuff. So that's the only thing. It was okay. My favorite is definitely the last one. Andre the Giant, Haku, Arn Anderson, and Bobby Heenan versus Ultimate Warrior, Jim Neidhart, Marty Jannetty, and Shawn Michaels. And this was definitely the most fun because there was no, I mean, the only count out was a count out that made sense. Was that how you don't beat Andre the Giant? Well, Ultimate Warrior just comes in, fucking beats the fuck out of him, does these big clotheslines, then knocks Andre out, and he gets counted out. And I'm like, that makes sense. That's something I can understand. Like a big guy, I could believe him doing a clothesline and knocking Andre out of the ring and then a count out. Okay then. I liked that. It made the match a bit faster. Haku beats Jim Neidhart with a thrust kick. They fucked over Marty Jannetty and put Bobby Heenan to let him beat Marty Jannetty because other people fucked with him. Shawn Michaels, I thought, had a good showing. Well, I mean, you could tell that they were leaning more towards Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. Because you tell that during matches, they let Shawn Michaels do a bit more, whether it be in the Royal Rumble or even here. Because like Marty Jannetty did not eliminate anybody, but Shawn Michaels did. He was able to eliminate Haku after a flying crossbody. So he's able to do something. And, Shawn Michaels did a good job. And it goes to show his talents later on, even at this time he was a very talented wrestler. But then he got beat by Arn Anderson. And then Ultimate Warrior, I mean, if you don't have a hero, have him be a strong hero. Like Hogan, he only beat one guy, $1 Million Man. But Ultimate Warrior is like, okay, I'm going to knock out the Andre the Giant. And then I'm going to do a gorilla press slam and a splash on Arn Anderson. And then, of course, he beats Bobby Heenan. And I like Bobby Heenan. Well, either on commentary or even on screen, he's always a good heel. Well, another thing that was good is that the commentators are once again Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse Ventura. Because at times it was like, oh, is Vince McMahon here or Tony Schiavone here? It's nice to see Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse Ventura back on commentary, because of all the early ones, they're the best of that first group. When they switch out, it's okay, but I like those. Until Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan, which was really great as well. But Ultimate Warrior is the final survivor, and I like that. I mean, I had the most fun with that match. That was the one that was entertaining the most. Shawn Michaels got to do his thing. He got to eliminate a guy at least. Ultimate Warrior got to do his thing. Bobby Heenan got to be involved. I just had more fun with that match. So, I mean, the stuff going in, the first match with Dusty Rhodes I thought was okay. You know, decent opening. The second one, other than the little bit we got to see of Bret Hart versus Macho Man, didn't really care for the rest of it, to be honest. The third one with Hulk Hogan I thought was fucking bullshit. 3 DQs from the bad guys. 3 of them out from DQ. I thought that was shit. The one with Roddy Piper was cool. It was okay. Like, if I put, like, favorite to least favorite on this pay-per-view, my favorite would be the Ultimate Warrior won the last one. And then it'd probably be the opening match. And then third would be this one, just because I like Roddy Piper. And I miss the guy. And it's also cool to see Revolution Rick Rude and Mr. Perfect, who are also no longer with us. So, it's like, you know, you get to see guys who are no longer with us in there. And it's like, all 3 of those I liked. So, it was like, I think that's why I could watch that match and be okay. And then, like I said, the last one, Ultimate Warrior, it seemed a bit faster. Because Ultimate Warrior, I mean, he fucks up, granted. I don't remember much in this one, though. But, I mean, he's not the most technical wrestler, is what I'm saying. I don't remember messing up that much in this one. But he does have an energy that's infectious. And then, of course, the Rockers definitely have an energy, especially Shawn Michaels. And that's what made me, you know, that's the part of the pay-per-view I liked, was that part. That's just my opinion, though. But anyway, I already talked about this before, so a year ago, so it's weird I'm talking about it. It's still 20 minutes long, but that's my thoughts on Survivor Series 1989. It was there. I mean, a lot of these have not been rants, I don't know, because I look back, I just remember all these faces that are no longer with us, and it's nice to see them on there. So maybe I'm not the best to review these, but, you know, again, sort of my thoughts, a bit of a review on it. Just, this is the best I can do, just give my thoughts on, my feelings on it. But either way, thanks for watching, take care, and there will be one more wrestling video, and that is the last pay-per-view of 1989 of the No Holds Barred pay-per-view. And we'll see you later.